Help me to reach 2,000 subscribers. The sound of shattered glass was the first thing I remember. The wine bottle slipping from my fiancé's hand, bursting across the marble floor like a gunshot. The red liquid spread beneath his shoes, dark as blood, soaking into the edges of my wedding invitations that had been stacked neatly on the table. He didn't shout. He didn't cry. He just stared at me, his knuckles whitening around the edge of the counter, his jaw trembling like he was holding back the kind of rage that could destroy everything in its path. "Tell me it's not true, Claire," he said quietly. And that was when my body went cold. I didn't even know which part he'd heard. There were too many versions of the truth, too many moments I'd tried to bury. He tossed his phone onto the counter. It landed face up, still glowing with the message I'd sent to my friend an hour earlier. One last time with my ex-guest, I needed the closure. Huh? It wasn't meant for him. It wasn't even meant to be seen. Just a reckless brag after a night I'd been too weak to walk away from temptation. But it was real. Every word. Every sin hidden beneath that text. We were supposed to get married in 3 days. The house smelled of roses from the rehearsal dinner preparations, the soft hum of romantic music still playing from the Bluetooth speaker. It was supposed to be our night, a celebration of everything we'd survived. Our long-distance years, the doubts, the ex who never quite let go. Ethan had been the steady one, reliable, loyal. He'd built me a life I never thought I deserved, and I'd ruined it with 10 words. He stood there, still staring at me. "Closure?" he asked, the words slicing through the air like a blade. "That's what you call it?" I opened my mouth, but my voice cracked before sound came out. "Ethan, please. It wasn't what it sounds like. It sounds like you slept with your ex." I froze. Couldn't lie anymore. Tears blurred my vision, turning his face into something distant, distorted, unrecognizable. "It was a mistake," I whispered. "I swear. I thought I needed to see him one last time, to let it go for good." His silence hurt more than if he'd screamed. He finally walked away from the counter, each step slow, deliberate. "And you decided that sleeping with him was the only way to do that?" My body shook. "I didn't plan it. It just happened. He showed up at my apartment after your business trip, and what?" His voice rose, breaking for the first time. "And you forgot you were engaged? You forgot about the woman who cried in my arms when I proposed? The woman I trusted more than anyone." The words landed like blows, and I had no shield left. I wanted to tell him that I'd been lost, that I'd been scared of the commitment, of the finality of marriage, of losing myself. But I knew how hollow it would sound. There's no way to rationalize betrayal to the person you love most. He walked past me toward the living room, pulling the framed photo of us off the wall. It was from our engagement shoot. Me laughing, him kissing my forehead. For a moment, he just stared at it. Then, with quiet precision, he set it face down on the table. "I canceled the wedding," he said. The room tilted. "What?" "I called the venue before I came here. Told them it's over." "Ethan, no. Please, don't do this. I'm not marrying someone who sleeps with another man and then jokes about it," he said, his voice breaking. "I would have forgiven almost anything, Claire, but not this." I tried to reach for him, but he stepped back. The distance between us was small, but it felt like a canyon. He turned away and walked out the front door without another word. The click of it closing was louder than the shattering glass had been. I spent the night on the kitchen floor. The lights were still on, the wine spreading across the tiles, sticky beneath my fingers. Every minute, I replayed what had happened, how easily one text, one lapse of judgment, could dismantle years of love. I thought about the night with Daniel, my ex. It wasn't romantic. It wasn't even satisfying. It was desperate. A dying ember of something that should have burned out years ago. We talked about our past, the way we'd hurt each other, the regrets that still lingered. And when he kissed me, I didn't pull away. I told myself it was closure. But in truth, it was weakness. And now, that weakness had cost me everything. The next morning, Ethan's mother called. Her voice was gentle but strained. "Sweetheart, Ethan came by early. He's devastated. He said the wedding's off." I just wanted to check if you're okay. I wanted to tell her that I wasn't, that I was drowning in guilt. But instead, I said, I understand. Because I did. You don't destroy someone's faith and expect them to stay. 3 weeks passed before I saw him again. He came to the apartment to pick up the last of his things. His face was thinner, eyes darker, but his voice was calm. I thought I'd be angrier, he said quietly. But mostly, I'm just sad. I wanted to spend my life with you. I wanted that too, I whispered. I still do. He looked at me then, really looked at me. For a second, I thought I saw the man who once promised to love me forever. But it was gone just as quickly. I hope you find peace, Claire, he said. He left his key on the counter and walked out. Months later, I still kept the dress. It hung in the back of my closet like a ghost. Pure white, untouched, mocking me. Sometimes, I'd trace my fingers over the lace and imagine the version of me who never sent that text. The version who said no to Daniel. The version who got to marry the man who truly loved her. But that version doesn't exist anymore. And neither does the life I almost had. The last time I saw Ethan, he was with someone new. A woman with kind eyes, laughing at something he said. They looked happy. He saw me across the cafe, gave a polite nod, and turned back to her. No bitterness, no anger, just acceptance. That hurt more than anything, because forgiveness meant he'd finally moved on. And I was still trapped in the moment I destroyed everything.